going. He's in at the club this morning. He's walking around with a bit of a limp.
No, I don't think so. He's probably been in here since about 6 o'clock track. He's pretty committed. So, no, I saw him this morning just then, walked past him. He's looking all right. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with him, definitely.
How much do you expect him to do this week?
Probably not too much. I think he'll have a bit of a lighter week, but he'll have to tick off a fair few things, I think. For us, that probably doesn't worry us that much in terms of him not training. He's probably done nearly every session all year, and this time of year, maybe a little bit of freshen up might be good for him.
It is one of those finals things, though, isn't it? We often hear of these sort of things that, you know, Dale Morris played with a broken back or yeah. Have you ever played alongside a guy who's effectively got a broken leg?
No, I haven't, but I'm sure that a few people that I've played alongside have got injuries that you wouldn't know about, and I think that's like most teams. I think if you look at the remaining 6 teams, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that have got injuries that they've been carrying for probably the last half of the year, but obviously with Tracks 1, it's a new one, but as I said, he was moving pretty well for a guy that has a broken leg, but he's pretty tough, so he'll play.
There's a few under a bit of an injury cloud after the weekend. Charlie, Bailey, can you give us an update on those?
Yeah, so Charlie spent the night in hospital, but that was just precautionary. He got hit in the throat, I think. He couldn't talk after the game. It was quite funny. We all had to tell him to stop talking because it was quite embarrassing for him, actually. And then Fritter, I think he'll be fine. He was in yesterday. I saw him. He was moving around pretty well for a guy that had just hurt his knee a couple of days before. So for us, as I said, like every other club, there's going to be a lot of injuries in finals time. Not many players want to miss. So you'd usually say a broken leg would only keep you out, but maybe in Track's case, it's not going to.
Simon Duggan was pretty strong on the discipline side of things post-match. Is that something you address heading into this one, especially with the Lions? I think it's been pretty fiery last time.
Yeah, I think it was disappointing, the discipline stuff, because I think it ended up costing us 3 or 4 goals, which ends up being the margin. So, for us, we'll definitely work on it, but it hasn't been a real trend in our game or anything like that. So for us, there was a few things that you'd like to take back on Friday night, some of the free kicks, but in the end, that's a game of footy. That's finals footy. It's hot, it's heated. So for us, we'll have a little bit of a conversation, I would imagine, today, but after that, we'll move on to, as you said, the Lions this week.
Do you give Dane Zorko a bit of extra attention?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think we've moved on from it pretty quickly. We were obviously disappointed at the start with what went on, but for us now, we've moved on, and I'm sure that hopefully he has too.
Do you think it will be addressed at all internally during the week?
I don't think so. Nah, we were pretty good at the start in terms of addressing it after the game, and then both Harry and the footy club moved on pretty quickly, so I wouldn't imagine Goody would be bringing it up in meetings or anything like that.
Just saw Tom McDonald walk in. Do you think that he might be a chance to come in, given the issues you faced up forward?
Oh, look, I think he's a chance. He's a pretty important player for us, but the beauty of last week is the VFL played, but then they won and then they got the week off. So I'm sure that Tom would have loved to play this week, last week, in terms of getting a bit of continuity in his body. But I think he trained pretty solidly on Saturday, so if he's available, then I'm sure the coach will have some thinking to do.
You've thrashed the Lions in the last couple of encounters. Does that matter, or does that all go out the door when you're playing the finals?
Straight out the door. Yeah, I think that finals footy is a completely different game, and for us, we know how good Brisbane can be when they're up and going, and for us, we're going to have to, we'll probably look at some of the things that we did last game, but for us, we understand that this is a totally new ball game, and they were pretty impressive on Thursday night, especially with their scoring. So as a team that really values defence in us, we're looking forward to having that challenge, and we know that they'll be up for the fight, so it probably just goes straight out the door.
Can you say what you'll be focusing on in the back line, given their scoring potential?
I think it speaks for itself. They're a pretty talented forward line, so every time we've come up against them, we've tried to try and match it with them, but we understand that as I said, they're pretty talented, so just don't let them kick goals. That'd be the nice thing, but obviously in games of footy they're going to kick goals, so we'll be looking forward to the challenge as a back seven, but as a whole team, definitely.
Would you expect a play to go to Lachie now?
I have no idea, to be honest. I probably won't go to him, so I'll give you that one. But yeah, I don't know. He was pretty influential on Thursday night. He was probably the cleanest player out there, especially below his knees. He was playing phenomenally. So yeah, for us, if there is someone to go to him, that might be the case. But it's pretty early on in the week, so I wouldn't know.
James Harm's done a good job on him before. Obviously, didn't get suspended. Is he one that you can see playing that role?
Oh, he's played that role. We've had a number of guys play that role too, so I don't think it's just the one guy that can play the role. So for us, I'm sure a number of guys will go through the midfield, and if they get matched up on Lockie, they'll have to keep their eyes out.
Everyone else escaped the gastro.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Pretty lucky. I think that's, with all the COVID stuff that's happened over the last couple of years, the reporting of sickness and everything's been pretty good from our footy club. So, yeah, Hibbo had gastro, and sometimes, in the past you might have come in and try to train and then leave, and you might have passed it on to a few, but Goody and Hibbo straight away, they knew that they had something wrong with them and stayed away from the footy club, and yeah, everyone's escaped it, which is good.
What's going on? Are they going for special lunches together? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think they have been, Goody and Hibbo. Yeah, Hibbo is a bit of a coach's pet, so that might have been the case.
If Tom McDonald does come in, do you feel like he can make an impact, albeit underdone? Because you're going to have Christian, who's clearly carrying something.
Yep.
A couple of other boys saw. You feel like Tom can actually come in and play to a really strong level.
Oh, absolutely. I think that when you're that experienced, I think it's his 11th or 12th year in the system. When you come in, it's probably not like a first or second year player that might be underdone. He's played AFL footy before. He's played a lot of games. So if he were to come in, I'm sure that he'll have a big impact for us.
You talked a lot last year about resetting, or the coach did. Is that something you're still carrying into this final series? Do you have the same sort of themes for this final series as last year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we spoke after the game. The equation doesn't really change for us. Lucky enough to get a second chance. So top four, get a second chance, and we still have to win 3 games now to get where we want to get to. But for us, as you said, it's probably starting with this first week, and then from then on resetting, as most teams would talk about. But it's probably more our resetting in games, understanding that in finals football and in football this year, there's been a lot of momentum swings. So if we can reset and be the best team at that, then it's going to carry us a long way.
How did you see that second half of Friday night play out?
Oh, look, I thought Sydney's pressure was amazing, to be honest. You play in finals football and you know that that's what it's going to be like, but they sustained it longer than us, and in the end that's where the result came from. And yeah, I think that we'll have a little bit of a reflection as a footy team to understand that that's the level that we've got to get to in terms of our pressure, and just continue to play the way that we play for 4 quarters. We've done it before, so we're not necessarily worried about that we haven't been able to do it. We know that we can do it. It's just about applying ourselves and then therefore doing it.